So today, we're going to chat about some of our thoughts about the future of the industry, the future of businesses, where things are going, where they should go. So if that interests you, I guess keep listening. And if not, we'll see you next week. So I'm Todd, and I'm here with my wife and business partner, Jen.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Me too. Welcome to the Hello Hair Pro podcast. So today we're sort of just going to freestyle this and run through a list of, I really don't even have notes. I was just going to play off of.
Mine are all over the place. I'm very scattered.
Perfect.
With notes.
I feel like having this sort of conversation. So that's how we'll run it today. Typically there's a little more
structure, but
structure
then I always
to the
try
episodes.
To go outside of it. So
yeah, that's cool. So let's do it today. Let's run through it. So what are we hoping happens?
I hope to inspire somebody to make a change that they feel would get them excited about their business again and get them excited about the industry, even if it's one thing.
It's a good goal.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I believe right now there's lots of things that are trending or are starting to that for me are excited. I guess recently don't mind changing a bunch of things. Didn't used to be my personality, but I guess as I've been taking that step and embracing it, I have found a new love for the industry. I am more excited. I feel more creative. And
We've noticed. Everyone around you's noticed.
I'm excited to inspire people to do the same. It's hard to step outside of your comfort zone and maybe do something that not everyone else is doing. But once you start to do it, you start to create an identity for your business, for yourself, and hopefully get some other people excited to, like I said, try some new things.
So I don't think it needs to be as difficult as it is. I think when you make a change, and I've heard this a bunch of times, there's always a group of people that are like, well, that's not how it's done. Mm-hmm. Well, it's how that
I was
person...
in that group for a while.
Yeah, sure. So, and that's great if you're in that group, but open your ears, like open your mind up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because somebody does something different doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean what you do is wrong necessarily either. You don't have to start shooting the second somebody starts charging differently than you do or whatever.
Or any of it, yeah.
There's just no need for it. Especially, I've heard this one too. Somebody raises their prices, and I haven't heard it. I'm sure people have said it about our salon at some point, but I actually had somebody that said, so-and-so in town charges this. Who do they think they are to charge that? What? Who do you think you are to tell them what they should charge? It's their business. They should charge what they want to charge.
Yes.
Maybe what they need to charge.
Yeah.
That's
knows?
A whole topic on itself. So where do you want to start? There are so many topics here.
So I was thinking first, talking a little bit about spreading out through different points of marketing, I guess. So recently our Facebook got hacked. So luckily we're not a business that solely relies on Facebook. But if we were, it would be detrimental to our business because we are still not able to get our Facebook back. Luckily, we use Facebook as one resource. We use Instagram as another. We have email marketing. So we're spread out through different channels of contacting clients so that as much as it was frustrating, was not like a killer to our business.
For the record, I just want to point out that I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
I probably should have cared, but I just didn't. I was like, wow, somebody took our Facebook page. This is great. I wonder if they thought they were harming us.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's important to realize like you've got to have all different outlets because if you put all your eggs in one basket and someone robs you of that, like it's just going to be awful.
Legs on a chair. I always use the legs on a chair
That's a good
example.
One. Yeah.
If you have a one-legged chair, it's very difficult to balance. 2 legs might make it a little easier.
Yeah.
3, you can start to see where we're going. 4 legs would be better.
Yeah. And
it's about spreading wider, not necessarily just running as deep as you can on one thing.
Right.
It doesn't mean don't go all in on stuff every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because you have to explore things, but...
And we'll get our Facebook up and running at some point. Honestly, the only thing I want it for is the stupid locations. Because that makes me happy, to tag the location. But
gotcha.
Whatever. It's fucking Facebook. Meta, whatever its name is. I don't even care.
Who cares?
Yeah, moving on. So that was one we just touched on. I guess something else I think that is important to address is having salons, salon owners, salon stylists, barbers, whatever, pivot into what I call a modern today in the salon world. And for me as an owner,
and this is a big part of why we started sort of Hello Hair Pro.
Yeah.
Was to inspire people to think outside of the box.
Yeah. So like whether you're in a salon and these are things you wish you had, or whether you're an owner, it might give you some insight as to maybe what your staff wants, or you're on your own and maybe you should be doing this stuff for yourself. But I find it should be, the modern salon needs to be a salon of lots of freedoms. I don't mean a free for all, very different freedoms.
No free for all.
No. And I mean more freedom to do the services you choose to. If you don't want to do a certain service, why are you doing it? Stop. That you don't have to be there for everybody. You're not going to hurt someone's feelings. They're going to get over it. They'll find somebody else. But if it doesn't,
they'll find somebody that will do a better job because that
they
person
want to do
specializes in what they need.
So services that you truly love doing, that you want to do because you chose to do them. I think from a salon owner perspective, freedom for time off. I hear so much, not from our staff, but from people that now work with us, that they would be scared to ask for a day off because they felt like they were going to get in trouble. I truly believe, and it's how we run our salon, you can have off whatever time you want. We just need to know so we know who's in the salon or not. If everybody at the same time asked for the same day, the same week off, we would just close. I'm not saying no. Like, you should be able to have off. Like, you should be able to take your time off, enjoy your life. Like, you don't have to worry about the salon. You don't own it, But even if you're an independent, if you're an owner, everyone needs time off. And you need to show people that it's okay to have that. So that is salon of the future, is freedom with time off. Like, if that's what you need to do better and be more creative, you should be able to have it and not be scared. No more babysitting. You should be hiring staff that you believe can follow your systems, follow the rules that you put in place. And this way, if you're not there, you're confident that they're doing what's expected of them.
That's a big one. Nobody wants to be micromanaged, but sometimes people ask for it.
Yeah, true. And sometimes you get those people that all of a sudden you're like, what? Why are they not doing this stuff? Well, there's a conversation to be had. Figure it out.
Some sort of breakdown in the communication, whether you didn't set up some system correctly or you weren't clear enough on it or whatever. And we just recorded a podcast on leadership.
Yeah.
So go back. I think, I don't know, maybe this will release before that one, but either way.
But there's, you have to have a conversation with that person as to why they're not meeting expectations they may have it before. And who knows where that will go. Maybe they just needed somebody to give them a push. I don't know.
Another thing that I want to point out too is in regard to the freedom of schedule, the freedom to have days off, etc. It goes back to that chair example. So if you have one leg, and this is where I think that booth renters probably have it tough if they don't recognize this as an issue. If you rent a booth, or if you're an employee, when you're not working behind the chair, there's no income coming in. You don't make money.
Right. So
you should have opportunities if you want to learn other ways to make money that your salon owner, business owner, whatever, should be able to help you with and guide you with. Probably not happening as much as it should because of fear, but those things are important.
Yeah, that's how you protect your future, right? If you couldn't work behind the chair, let's say something happened, what do you have going on next? What else can you do? Or
even if you don't want to, I've met so many people that are like, you get done with school and you're like, I want to work 7 days behind a chair. No, you don't. I mean, and maybe you do, but it's not going to last very long. Yeah, you're not going to love it as much as you think you are. Doing the same thing over and over every day, not for me. Maybe, I'm sure there are people out there that are like, I don't know what the mindset or the mentality would be, but like that factory worker where you just repeat the same process over and over, that would drive me absolutely insane. So you might not even want to do, maybe I want to do hair, and this is another freedom that we offer, is maybe I want to do hair 2 or 3 days a week.
Totally cool.
Maybe I want to do hair 1 day a week. if there's an open chair, let somebody.
Yeah.
It's hard. That goes back to that ego thing, but
Yeah.
for owners, but
Yeah,
you got to work nights. You got to work weekends.
I was
you
that
don't.
owner at
No,
one
you don't.
point. But yeah,
You don't.
I actually now coach. We had a staff come on, and I think I've said this in another podcast, and she's like, I know I have to work nights and weekends, but eventually I just want to be during the day and whatever. So my old Jen would have been like, yeah, you have to work at least 2 nights and you have to do this and you won't build. And so the conversation I had with her was just, it might take you longer to build, but I don't know why you would build certain parts of your schedule that you don't want to work, that you're going to, like, you might lose those clients because that might be their availability. So why not just work the schedule you want? We encourage actually our staff to do like every other Saturday and stuff like that too. Cause I think it's sometimes you don't want to work every Saturday, so you don't have to. Now, if you do, that's totally fine. There are those people that they do want to work every Saturday. But there's a handful of us that are in there every other, and we friggin' love it. And so cool. We have some people that work Sundays because that's what they want to do. I think it's neat to be able to offer the schedule that you truly want from the beginning, as long as you have it available.
And exactly what you just said, as long as it's available, here's another freedom. It doesn't mean that people have to pick their schedule and stick to it. We have someone that's working Fridays through the holiday season simply because they were like, seems like it would be fun. I really want to work Fridays.
Yeah. She came in one and was like, this is wicked fun. And like,
if there's a chair available, go for it.
Super cool.
Go for it, owners.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on
Jump
the owner side, I will say, what Todd and I do is just keep an eye on that and make sure we're not seeing burnout, right? If that person is getting exhausted, that's another conversation. Like, I know you're having fun in here, but maybe your shift should be shorter or something. Like, I can tell like that this is a lot for you. So, we just coach on that too.
That's a great topic.
It's a big deal to protect them.
To jump into next is coaching. I think that more businesses are doing better when it comes to actually leading employees. I don't know where the majority of salons are at. From what I hear, not very well. I forget, there was this company that the CEO said, and this was something I remembered from years ago, that for every minute, or he might have said hour, for every hour we spend external on our business. So everything that a potential customer sees, we spend the equal amount of time internal. So that blew my mind, because I'm like, you might be working, that could be hundreds of hours. Mm-hmm. If you have a big company and you have a team that's working on your marketing, that could be, by the time you get done with 8-hour days for 10 people, there's 80 hours in one day.
Yeah.
That's a lot, but they were dedicated. And one way that the CEO said, I want to personally be involved, and I thought this was really cool, was he did a 2-minute recording on his phone every morning on his drive to work. So on his drive to the office, and maybe this is something you steal. Shit, maybe I'm going to start doing this. So he would record himself, and then I don't know what he used for a solution for this, but then he uploaded it, and it got emailed company-wide. Nice. So every single employee, every single morning, got a voice memo from the CEO just saying, I'm excited for this. This is what I'm working on today. Whatever. I wasn't in the company, so I didn't get the emails, but I'm sure they were cool. I mean, if somebody is being that's very thoughtful,
Yeah, I love that.
That's another thing. So coaching, I think, is a very important thing. And as an owner, having your pulse on the business, not just setting it up, and then, unless your goal is full autonomy, which is fine, that's a different type of business, but you need to be coaching your staff. You need to be constantly engaged. Engaged with them.
Yeah. Like, how are you doing? What's going on? I agree. So back to also the chair analogy.
Chair legs?
The chair legs.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. So that sort of goes into another point I have, which is a way for staff, anybody, to make money, not just behind the chair. And if you're not aware, there are a lot of companies out there that offer affiliate links to retail. So
product companies?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really neat. And especially right now, Instagram has the link option that you can put in your stories, whatever. Makes it really simple for you.
I want to touch on that in a second.
Yeah, sure. It makes it really easy for you. Now, not every brand does it. Like, There are some out there, some big names that make it really difficult for you to get affiliate links for. But either way, you find your personality with whatever brands you want to be representing. And at Hello, the ones that we represent have affiliate links. So it's easy for the staff.
It's a prerequisite now.
Yes. In order for us to carry your product, you have to have an affiliate link. It's the first thing we ask.
Because we don't. So for people that might not know, let's clarify this a little bit. How we do things at our salon in regard to retail is we don't stock.
Right. Our end goal, which we're close to, is that all of our retail will be sold through affiliate links. And,
only.
Yep. And it makes it really simple for someone at home to go on. They know what they want, or we can text them the link of the products we recommend and they can shop till they drop from their phone.
Which is how people are shopping.
Yeah. So it makes it
So
perfect.
it's just following the trend.
Yeah. And not all of our clients live right in town. So they would come to get a product, and things would be run out or back ordered, and what a waste of a trip. And now they don't have to worry about that.
Right. And
It's really cool. But so for people out there as another source of income, you don't have to stock those products. You can just have those links available through whatever source you use. I use Instagram for mine. And people can
And no offense to
buy those products.
No offense to any owners out there, given that 5%, 8% commission on retail, but some of these companies are up to like 35%.
Depending. Yeah. It's
So
very cool.
35%, the person goes on the phone or iPad or whatever. They click your link. They order their product. It gets sent directly to them from the company. The company charges them and then pays you a commission. You don't do anything other than connect the person to the product, which is what you're doing anyways. You're just not stocking it.
Right.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And that frees up. So instead of having $10,000 sitting on shelves, you can take that money now and do something else with it.
Correct.
So I wanted to touch on the Instagram thing that you brought up. So I see things like Linktree, link in bio, and then you click it and it's Linktree.
Yeah.
Or one of these other various solutions. Instead of doing that, here's a little pro tip. This might help your SEO. Create a page on your own website with links. It's not that difficult.
I think that's what you did for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I've done it for all of our staff that's wanted it. If you don't know how to do that stuff, you probably have somebody that set up your website, somebody that runs it or manages it. Just ask them to create you a page. It takes 2 seconds. Like we use Squarespace. It's very, very simple. Mm-hmm. You build out the page and then you put that link in your bio.
So it goes to everything.
So everything's going, I'm directing traffic to my website, not to Linktree's website.
Right. And it is cool because if you go on my Instagram and you can see it, it's the products that I support, like the ones that are near and dear to me. But also you can request an appointment. It does all of that in one spot.
Yeah, you can
it's
customize it.
Very clean and organized, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, affiliate links. I think they're great. And I think they're amazing. And I do believe it's where you will start to see more and more salons going. And they should.
That's something that needs to happen because the time you have to go through an order, you have to receive the order, you have to pay somebody to stock it on the shelf. You have to pay someone to clean the shelves.
Then the inventory.
Or you have to do it yourself.
It's a lot.
You have to, reordering.
Yeah.
And it's your dollar. Like if I look at a bottle of shampoo sitting on a shelf, I'm looking at dollars of mine that are sitting there collecting dust.
And they do have an expiration date, and then they do get repackaged, and then they just
all of the issues that
lots happening there. Yeah.
And a lot of times, and I don't care because it's their business, but the larger brands do that. Mm-hmm. They'll repackage or whatever, they're trying to push whatever their new gimmick is.
Yeah.
That they're trying to push, or their new, nanotechnology or whatever they're pushing on you.
And I mean,
and
most
if you
of us
love those
didn't
products,
get in this industry to
great.
sell products.
Right.
I enjoy the recommendation of that. I enjoy the whole thing. But I know that I
enjoy
not the norm
working
for all of that.
I enjoy working with them and recommending them to people and connecting them or connecting my clients with solutions to their problems.
Yeah.
And I can do that and just give them a link.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have to be like, oh, let me see if I have that in stock. Yeah. I don't. Here's the link.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Can we talk about pricing? Can we talk about hourly pricing?
Sure.
So hourly pricing, and I think we've done a podcast on this too.
Yes.
hourly pricing is going, it has to at some point be not the future anymore, but it has to be the current.
The present, yeah.
It can't be the future. Like the future is hourly pricing. It needs to be now. No industries, I know there's examples, but charge like so randomly. I don't
It's
even.
very confusing the way most of the industry
A la carte.
charges currently.
You're not a restaurant.
And honestly, it does make it a lot easier for consultation, for a clear picture of what someone's paying when you can figure out hourly how long things take you. And then you don't have that client going up that has got a, what's the word when you get, oh my gosh, I'm having, this is going to be funny.
Like add-ons?
Nope. So somebody calls and they want to know how much it's going to be and you give them a
Estimate?
quote. What do you call? I don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, so they get a quote over the phone. It's another word for it. I can't think of it. Anyway, you guys have all been with me when I've gone through these before. So then they come in and that stylist maybe doesn't update everything they're doing. They just assume what they were booked for. They know the price. And so when they leave, it's like $200 more than what they expected. And that person is like, wait, I don't understand. But if they just knew, okay, it's going to take me about this long.
That's because the stylist or the barber doesn't understand.
Well, yeah, the pricing's just all
So
over the
confusing.
place. So with hourly, it's just like, this is going to take me this much time. You know, maybe you quote them even longer, and if it's less, that's where it's at, and then you know where they are for next time. But it does make it clear and transparent, and a lot easier to discuss rather than all these extra add-ons.
So let's touch on what hourly pricing is and isn't. Hourly pricing, as simply as I can make it, because it's so simple, is charging for your time and not the service you're providing.
Yes.
That's it. That's hourly pricing. It's not any more complicated than that, folks.
Yeah. That's
so
it. And now you'll just get paid for those people that you always need extra time for. You get paid for that.
Mm-hmm. So your hourly rate, for example, say is $100 if that's yours. I'm just throwing it out there. So if your hourly rate is $100 and someone says, hey, can I come in for a haircut? Sure. It's going to be 1 hour, or it's going to be $100, or takes me 1 hour. I charge $100 per hour. However you want to explain it. I think simpler is better always. Yep. So don't over-explain that stuff. But if a service takes you 2 hours and then someone asks for something extra, if you can fit it in that 2 hours without rushing,
great. And
great.
If you can't,
there's no additional charge. It's just that's the charge. What hourly pricing is not is creating a different hourly price for every service that you offer.
That's a la carte.
And then that's a la carte by definition. And then charging and piecing things together. Well, I did a haircut on you today and my hourly rate for that, and that took me 35 minutes. So we'll multiply by that. And then, but I also did color, but my rate for color is higher. So we have to add that. This is just as fucking confusing as a la carte, because it is a la carte. It's just people are trying to say that they're charging hourly because it's trendy.
Yes.
But you're not really. You're not at all, actually.
Either commit or don't. Like, that's just where that goes, because it's supposed to be simplified and make it just easy on both sides.
And this isn't a podcast about hourly pricing, but hourly pricing, it just makes everything clean.
Mm-hmm. And transparent.
You know, yes, it's transparent. It's inclusive.
Truly.
It's great. Mm-hmm. I know for people it takes a little bit to wrap their head around. And I, again, another thing so we're gratuity free. Mm-hmm. And that confuses people as well. So we'll touch on it. But gratuity free is not your tip is included. That is not.
I hate that.
I do too. Drives me insane. But people are like, oh, tips included? No. There is no tip. When you go to your lawyer, your electrician, your plumber, if it's not Christmas, are you tipping them? No. They charge you for the time. They don't charge you per job. Again, I've said this a million times.
No, and it comes down to if you did want to gift them something, like I know people do that.
Sure.
Like I'm going to send I think I sent a edible arrangement after we delivered our second baby, like to the staff there. Like that was my generosity of like, thank you so much for everything you did. And that truly came, I didn't feel obligated. And if like I had to, like I wanted to do that. So gratuity free to me is just, if you choose to give your service provider something on top of after paying for your service, it's a true act of thankfulness. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And it's not your tip is included. It's not what it is.
No.
So again, I always use the lawyer for an example, but when you talk to a lawyer and they say, I charge $200, $300, $400, whatever. That's it. They don't care what they're doing. It could be filing a divorce for you. They could be reading a real estate contract for you. It doesn't matter. I mean, they probably specialize in something, but regardless of what they're doing for you, they're going to charge you their hourly rate. They're not like, this is easier for me, so I'm going to charge you less.
Right.
No, stop.
That's why it's based on time. If it's easier, it probably takes them less time.
And you're not breaking the time up. An hour is an hour. So it's not like, we'll come in for a bang trim. We don't really do that. But if somebody came in, the hourly price is this, and that protects the business. It protects the stylist or the barber. It is what it is. So it doesn't mean that somebody has to sit in your chair for that exact hour. I see that a lot too on social media where people are like, well, I don't know what else to do to fill that hour. It only took me 20 minutes. Ask the person. Maybe they want to be out in 20 minutes. Maybe they're paying for that. Maybe they're paying for your time because you're so good that you can get them out in 20 minutes and they can be on with their day.
True.
What else? I don't want to just stick on hourly
Dress
pricing.
code is what I have.
Dress code.
This is a big one because...
Throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I think I had one previously at a different salon.
You did. This was one of our fights.
I'll tell you why I had it. And I hadn't grown as a leader, me or my business partner at the time. So what would happen is people would come in and, boobs are hanging out, butt is hanging out, like whatever it was. And you'd have to I was sending people home to change or go to TJ Maxx, get something else. Like you're just not dressed professional, whatever it was. Or I would get a picture from somebody being like, look what someone wore today. Can you address this tomorrow? And I'm like, now this is awkward because I wasn't in today. So now it was weird.
You're fired. That person's fired, by the way.
So we went into all black because we were in Aveda salon. It was part of the Aveda culture. And it honestly took one more thing off my plate that I didn't have to do because I didn't have to be the ringleader for the dress code. And honestly, everybody looks good in black. And even if you don't have a lot of money, you can put something together and it looks very professional. So fast forward, we're opening Hello. And I had not been working in my previous salon for a little bit. So I was able to wear color again while we were getting Hello ready. And I forgot how awesome it was to get myself dressed just for like a Jen vibe. And my clients loved it. They were like, oh my God, I love what you have on today. They couldn't wait to come see what I was wearing. Like it just became this other whole world. And I'm like, whoa, like part of our creativity is in what we wear. And if you hire the right staff and you just say dress professional, no butt, no boobs, whatever it is, and you find the right people that just are like, yeah, I get it. Like this is like, why would you even have to say that? But now we have like people all come in and they have their own vibe and their own thing going on. And it's like cool shit actually. So dress code should just be see ya the F later.
And again, none of it doesn't mean it's a free for all. So
no,
we don't have a dress code per se, but there are still rules.
Yeah. And we talk about in the beginning and we hire people that are like, yeah, that makes sense. And are excited to just be creative in the way they dress and put themselves together. Mm-hmm. And it's cool.
It was one of our early on fights in quotes, because it wasn't really like
because I had to get over this
recently in a podcast.
The black thing.
Our fighting is not fighting, but it's more of like a debate. But
yeah,
I was not wearing.
We weren't seeing eye to eye, and I needed to come out of another old school way of thinking. Like that was 10 years of my life. Like I don't know, and I was like, I don't want to have to dress my staff and whatever, and then realize
hire correctly, and you don't have to.
Yes, like. It was a mindset change for me.
So if you're an owner and you're thinking to yourself, my staff would never do that, well, you have the wrong staff.
Yeah. These people are adults. Like they can be treated like adults. Come on. And they should be able to be creative. It's another part of who they are and why they got into this industry, I believe.
So let's move on to how the clients are dealt with. So we offer a lot of freedom. With that comes responsibility. So our staff are responsible for their own clients. So if somebody needs to, and we trust them to do this because we hire the right people.
Yep.
If somebody needs a day off or wants a day off, somebody's already booked in, move the client. If you're sick in bed, reach out. We'll take care of it for you. Of course, we're here to help and support. But rebooking and all that stuff happens at the chair at our salon.
Yeah, this was neat.
So this is something I think that salons can look at as moving into the future.
Yeah, so this was like two fronts for me. So any salon I'd worked at, there was just always all this, like, everyone's around the desk all the time because you're trying to make sure your clients got all the services added onto their ticket, plus, like, make sure they put them in the right spot. Can they rebook? And, like,
which hourly pricing solves.
Yeah, on so many levels. So I'm at the dentist and they're rescheduling me before they even get started for my next appointment. And I'm like, this is amazing because my tech knows what I need to get done for my next visit. And so she's rescheduling me. And this sort of brought in, we have iPads at our stations and we can reschedule them. And this way too, it alleviates this.
Well, yeah, who knows better than the person that just did your fucking hair,
and
what you need and when you need to come back.
Yes, and how you book and all of these things. So in real time, you can add on the services. So you also know if there's an extra cost. So if somebody was booked in for 2 hours and you just discussed and now it's going to take 3, you can in real time put that into their services. So this way too, if somebody calls, you're not getting booked in a spot where you needed extra time. It also is a clear point of consultation for this is how much this is going to cost. And then, you can, what do we need to do? Who are we scheduling? What do you need to get in for? Do you need to get in for the holidays? Is your next one just a haircut, not a color? And you do all that for them. And now, while they're in the world of hair, they're doing all the hair stuff.
While they're thinking about it, not when they're reaching for their keys, thinking about what they're picking up for dinner, thinking about getting kids off to basketball practice.
And it makes it really easy and not rushed. And it's just like you're using your time completely, which is also why we don't double book, because your whole time is based with that client. And so that you can get done everything you need to do, which also encompasses rescheduling them.
So this takes a little bit of professionalism from your employees.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I know that it's common that you put on Susie's color.
Go sit in the back
room.
room.
Go run in the back room. The broke room is what we call it.
I will say our clients now are loving the time that is being spent with them.
Sure.
And just enjoying it. And the staff does too.
They paid for it.
It's just they're enjoying the whole service from start to finish. It's very cool.
Double booking is one of those things that's probably going to go eventually.
It needs to.
Yeah, I mean, you're...
So stressful.
Yeah.
Just on so many levels. That could be another conversation. I can tell you all the stories.
No offense. You're not that good.
Well, and you're not able to give
100%
it to both. Yeah, you're not.
To multiple people at the same time.
Somebody's getting lesser service.
Correct.
And then your body's breaking down and you're exhausted.
And if you're running... Because I don't think I've ever seen... I haven't been in this industry for a long time, but in a few years that I've been in it, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that runs on time, that double books. So now your whole schedule, you're just juggling the whole day. So if you think that...
I was pretty good at running on time.
Bullshit.
Swear to God. But at the sacrifice of myself. And it was so
You
stressful.
heard it here, folks. The first person ever to run on time. I've seen your schedule. You had some triple bookings.
I'm telling you, I killed it, but it wasn't fun.
No,
and I wasn't creative. I was literally just felt like a robot, like a machine.
And you're not giving 100% to each client.
No.
And you're always looking for someone to help you with something. Can you cash this person out? Can you do that?
Me,
so you weren't good at it. That's what you're saying.
I was good. I said I ran on time.
You said I was good at it.
I did say
we can check the tape. I'm going to edit it so that it comes back. So no, we're not double booking. And if you do double book, I don't care. Go for it. I wouldn't. And by charging hourly, it protects that.
Yeah.
So you're getting paid for that time.
Your body will thank you for it.
For sure. But I'll have to charge a really high hourly rate. That's the fucking point. Jesus. So the other thing that booking your own clients, cashing out your own clients, it eliminates the front desk.
Yes.
So we don't have a front desk staff. We don't have anyone running the staff or the schedule from the front desk because everyone's responsible for their own. We have a podium that we check people out at because for some reason it's taking me forever to find a solution. But once I find a mobile solution to process payments, that's really another nice thing that can be done during processing. I don't do color, so mine would be before or after, probably after still, but you could right in the chair before my client gets up, they can pay. You know how much it costs.
And they're generally, when they're done, are ready to leave. Like, they gotta go. So there's no line at the front desk. You eliminate that, and then you can take, again, that's a lot of money. If you're paying a front desk staff, that's a lot of money. Because you are... Let me ask you this for people that are listening, write in or comment or something, but are those people that you're paying, are they generating their own income? They should be. That's how business works. Right.
So you look at staff, they're generating their income, they're generating revenue for the salon. Why do you have a staff of people just sitting there getting paid, reading magazines?
You don't have magazines.
No, damn COVID. What else?
I have 2 of my own predictions for trends. One I just shared with my staff, but I do think, and our salon has moved in this direction, and it's really quite amazing. But the trend of clean beauty, I don't think it's going to necessarily be a trend. I think you're going to see it's a must for the future. Like, people want to be around less chemicals. They want to be around cleaner ingredients. They want to make sure you're recycling. Like, it's going to be a standard. We are now a clean beauty salon. Very proud of that. But it's our standard, and it's very important to me at my core. And now our staff, whether it's the most important to them or not, they have an appreciation for it, and they're proud. And that is super cool. We don't just do cuts and colors. Cool. We stand for something, and we're doing our part to help the environment with that aspect of it, which is really neat.
I like the transparency that these companies have. The clean beauty companies that we've explored and played around with are very anti-gimmick, I guess. And I've always
don't take yourself so seriously.
Hated the gimmicks. Hated.
That's very cool.
I would see things and I'm like, that's not even true. That's not how hair works. But they'll package it and they sell it to you and you buy it and you love it for whatever reason, even though it's not doing what you think it's doing.
Yeah. It's been neat to see the staff's minds blown on certain things, and they trust us. So that's, very cool. And I'm very appreciative of that. But even more so as they played with some of these products and they just loved them themselves. I didn't have to sell that to them.
No, we're very open with our staff, I would say, and we allow everyone to form their own opinions. Yeah. We were moving in the direction of clean beauty. It's always been a goal.
But we didn't know at what pace, right?
The pace, I was going to say, you want everyone to feel comfortable. You don't want to come in and be excited. Overhaul your salon. Yeah. So if you want to move in that direction, that's awesome. Reach out to Jen. I'll talk to you too. Reach out to me. But don't strong arm your staff, because then there's some resentment, and then maybe they're like, these products
they were ready quicker than I expected and anticipated. It was just so cool. I was like,
right. It's amazing what happens when you give people, respect.
Yeah.
And treat them like human beings.
And give them the information and let
not
them
just order them and tell them what to do.
Yeah, it's very cool.
For sure.
Okay, so this is my actual prediction.
It's the hair prediction, though?
This is my hair prediction.
So this has nothing to do with business?
Nothing at all. It's
okay,
totally,
so we're done here.
We're wrapping up here.
Okay.
So I believe the color trend of 2022 is going to be peachy pink blonde hair. You're going to see it. Warm tones all the way.
Okay, I don't know what to do with that. Cool.
Nothing. Just let's see if it happens.
Peachy pink warm tones. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
That's where it's happening. You'll see.
Let's wrap.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Get on our mailing list so you don't miss out on anything. And again, just thank you so much. Great feedback.
Try a new trend.
Reach out. Love you. Mean it. Bye.